Good morning and welcome to GPS for the Soul. We've made it. We've made it to Holy Week. This is our final week of GPS, and I hope it's really spoken to you over this Lenten journey. This morning, I'm going to start with a quote by Mary Carr. She said, "It is much more radical, much more daring, and much more dangerous to hope." So I have this friend, and she flips to the last page of every single book on her shelf to make sure there's a redemptive ending before she commits to the story. Isn't that what we all secretly desire? The chance to turn to the last page of our earthly story or the stories of those we love and see it printed in black and white. Love prevailed. The days leading up to Easter are painful. It's a real reckoning in mind and body and spirit. Nothing can ever prepare us for death. So frightening not knowing the when, the how, the what next for ourselves and those that we love. Jesus did not sugarcoat death. His experience outlines all its pain, vulnerability, doubt, but finally hope and redemption. How do we face the end of anything? A season, a marriage, a job, a child leaving the nest, much less the only life that we know here on earth. When Jesus realizes his death is near, he suffers fear and he literally sweats blood. On his knees, he begs his Father to help him avoid the inevitable. Where was his comfort then? God appears to have remained silent. On Good Friday, Jesus was pushed to the limits of physical pain. He also had to endure the emotional trauma of not only waiting for the end to come, but also watching his mother, whom he loved, see him horribly suffer, helpless to save him. What if the story had ended at Golgotha, a grim funeral vigil with all those who loved Jesus just left behind, utterly afraid of the end? For 15.6 billion years, the determination of God's story has never wavered. A universal cosmic life, death, life pattern plays out across all of creation, whether it's a star in the Milky Way or a bioluminescent jellyfish, or the prehistoric ginkgo, or the incomparably created human being. Nothing God creates ends. The pattern just changes. So there's a gentleman at our church who I greatly admired and loved. He was told on a Tuesday afternoon that there was nothing left to be done. The cancer had won. He left the doctor's office and he calmly returned home. I watched him walk through his house of 50 years for the last time, hold a picture frame of his family, pat his dog, pick up his hat and his umbrella, and then he flashed me a smile. Next, he turned to his son and he announced, "I'm ready." They got in the car and they drove downtown to a live hospice. I performed the funeral a week later. For years, I was rattled by how calm and accepting my friend was of his fate. I fear I won't have the courage to surrender, but will be angry and will fight my fate. No peaceful smile. My wise friend's parting gift and the symbol of his faith was that reassuring smile. He trusted love to be stronger than death. Although the curtain was closing on his life, he believed his show was not over. His God was too creative and loving for that. Continuation is God's holy gift to us. So my family loves the Lord of the Rings, and I like to remember Frodo. He's the hero in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. He and his dear friends Pippin and Merry and Sam, well, they were the heroes at the end of the movies. They saved the Shire, and at the end, they come to see their mighty Gandalf, their leader, off. Well, Gandalf announces to the group, "This comes the end of our fellowship." Their journey was over. Gandalf makes his way, staff in hand, to the boarding elven ship. But not before he turns back and he reaches out his hand, just as God promises to do for us in Psalm 139. And he calls Frodo to join him. Well, immediately the hobbits panic at the thought that Frodo would not continue on with them. And Frodo even says, "We saved the Shire, but not me." Well, the pain of watching Frodo say goodbye to his friends, especially when he hugs Sam for the last time, opens the floodgates of tears for me every single time I watch this movie. Calmly, Frodo joins Gandalf on the ship. Just before it sets sail, Frodo turns back to his friends and he gifts them with this reassuring and hopeful smile. You then know that everything is going to be more than okay as the ship embarks on the new horizon. The point is, wherever Frodo is going will be good. He is with Gandalf, and the hobbits are given the future a hopeful twist. The most powerful moment in the Easter drama is when Jesus surrenders himself to God and to his destiny. He says, "Into thy hands I commend my spirit." Into thy hands I commend my spirit. At that moment, death lost its hold on him, and the peace beyond understanding flooded the story. There's no getting around Good Friday and the cross. It is the destiny for all of us. But the clear promise witnessed in nature and in the story of Jesus is resurrection. Now, can we trust that God will extend his hand and see us through? Can we give that reassuring smile? Walt Whitman said, "All goes onward and outward, and nothing collapses. And to die is different from what anyone supposed, and much luckier." I really hope that you experience renewed hope in the Easter promise. And today, I'd like to close with a prayer that I love by W.H. Auden. I hope it'll be your Easter prayer, that you'll take it with you after Easter Sunday even. So Auden says, "He is the way. Follow him through the land of unlikeness. You will see rare beasts and you will have unique adventures. He is the truth. Seek him in the kingdom of anxiety. You will come to a great city that has expected your return for years. He is the life. Love him in the world of flesh, and at your marriage, all its occasions shall dance for joy." I hope you have a blessed Easter.